Welcome back into the ASUG News Studio. My name is Tom Wilg. I'm one of the editorial directors for asugnews.com. Well, we are delighted to have our sponsor back in the studio, Elliott Garofalo from Optimal Solutions. Thank you for being back in.
Thanks. Happy to be here again.
You were like the Saturday Night Live when they've got the five-time host. You are our first five-timer, so.
Hopefully it's a good thing.
Yeah, it is a good thing.
All right.
Every day it's a good thing. You got some really cool stuff cooking at Optimal. And one of the things we want to talk about that most everyone's talking about is HANA this week. The Optimal Labs, I mean, we were talking, this is just a really cool thing. Maybe we'll start off talking just a little bit about what it is and why you guys started it, and then we can hear some customer stories. It'd be great.
Sure, yeah. Optimal Labs, it's a facility out of our corporate office, a customer-facing facility where we built out a true technology lab where we have multiple HANA instances in there tied to over 20 different SAP systems, along with prototype mobility devices from our partners like Motorola, and we also have all of the other kind of next generation products tied to it, such as EPM and BPC, and the thought was we really wanted a place where the customers, the SAP install base, who all want to do HANA, but trying to figure out where it's applicable, how to do it, we bring them in. We convert their data into our appliances.
What, their own data?
Their own data.
Not yours?
Not ours, not generic, not dummy data. Their data that they come in, they convert it into our appliance, and they test drive it. And we benchmark all the metrics and the speed improvements, and out at the end of the exercise, out kicks a business case for why SAP and HANA, and they can take it back to their facilities and go get things approved and get things moving.
What's the reaction you get when they can see their own data? You know, I'm sure if you guys were pumping in some, it probably wouldn't be as believable. But when they see their own data, what's the reaction you guys get? Yeah,
I mean, we really felt that would be a differentiator in labs, and we had to come up with obviously some security and things like that to secure the data. And then we came up with a lot of process for wiping it out and so forth, so they would feel confident in that piece. But it's a game changer for us in there because it's tangible for them. They can actually see and understand what they're looking at, as opposed to us putting in some dummy data or SKUs that don't match, and it stays conceptual for them as opposed to something real tangible.
What has this done for your relationship with SAP? I know you guys were, I've been leading the effort with HANA, one of the first partners out there. How has that relationship evolved over the years?
Well, as you can imagine, they're pretty excited about Optimal Labs. For one thing, it's helping convince customers to make the migration to HANA, which in turn generates license revenue for SAP. Sure. But quite frankly, most of the nominations we have from clients coming into labs is coming from the SAP account executives out in the field.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. So again, it's that symbiotic relationship we've had with SAP that we've built over the last 15 years.
Can you give us a customer case story, without maybe naming names, or you could name names, but give us one example. If someone's come in and opened their eyes.
Sure. I mean, there's a one of the largest food manufacturers in the world, based here in the U.S. that was looking for some improvements with regards to their closing times, with consolidations throughout their enterprise. All the different companies are consolidating, where they came into Optimal Labs and did a pilot and a proof of concept for EPM BPC 10, sitting on HANA, and we knocked it out in 10 days. Did the entire proof of concept, did all the benchmarking and the business case in 10 days that they went back and are using to move forward with the project.
So the business case, you mentioned this they go home with a business case. What's in that business case, and is it more than just a piece of paper, or what is it?
Right. What it is we benchmark specifically what would success look like for them on why they would want to move forward with this in their particular area. Is it speed? Is it process improvement? Is it better data? Is it better visibility? Is it better reporting? Quicker reporting? Those types of things. So we benchmark every step of the way towards their agreed upon criteria. But then also what it does is it kicks out when I say business case, it kicks out the ROI as well. Here's the return on investment, so we quantify that with regards to dollars that would be saved, how long will it take to implement this, to get that, and so they have something true that they could go back to a board of directors or whomever from an approval process and go, here's why we need to do this.
Are there other partners out there doing this? I mean, I haven't heard about it.
Not that I heard about, so maybe after this interview there might be,
Yeah.
but no, not that we've heard about.
And SAP's been obviously fully supportive and loving what you guys are doing with this.
Yeah, it's been great. Like I said, they're the ones really been driving a lot of the traffic, and really recommending customers to come into Optimal Labs and get that business case and get the documentation so that they can move forward.
So when you say come in, like how do people get an invite?
Sure.
You got to get on an invite list.
Yeah,
you got to know you. How does it work?
Absolutely. Not me personally, but there's a nomination process that happens where the field nominates folks to come in because it is a time requirement, and,
Sure.
and there's certainly only so much bandwidth. You can only do so many at the same time.
Right.
But and it's a requirement on the customer side as well, because they dedicate people to come in to Dallas, work with our HANA teams within labs. The average time is about 4 to 5 days.
Okay.
Where they come in and they work together in an innovative environment and a lot of whiteboarding and design thinking and then actually putting taking from a design thinking session and actually turning it into a real life business case happens within those 4 or 5 days.
Any white lab coats people are wearing?
Yeah, no, you.
They have the little Optimal.
Yeah, no, but it really is an impressive building, which ASUG News will be there in the beginning of June to document the official ribbon cutting. It's really an impressive place, where you can actually see the technology, the computer room in there with all the HANA appliances and the SAP systems being powered. It's pretty neat.
Do you think as more customer case stories get out there, because there are some, but there are few than perhaps more customers would like, because with HANA it's kind of a lot of companies are taking a wait and see, but those ones that are going to the labs, do you think as more of those get out there, we'll see more traction for HANA as you guys are able to help more customers? And
oh yeah, 100%. I think that the adoption rate for HANA is going to be through the roof. There's no doubt in my mind. I think the questions are still, where is it applicable?
Right.
What is it? Is it really truly non-disruptive to go through the migration?
Yep.
And last but not least is I think they're also recognizing that there's a lot of work to be done to retrofit your where you are today, so that you can go do a HANA project. Meaning you got to be on the right release levels. You got all that stuff has to be in order before you can even go and do the project.
Right.
So I think they're kind of getting their arms around all that, but we're seeing the adoption rate really increase truly on a month-by-month basis.
Where do you think we are in terms of the HANA evolution? I know, it was 2011 really when it came out in the news. In terms of the overall scale, will we look back at 2013 and in a couple of years and be like, wow, look how far, is it just going to be exploded, you think?
Exploding. I think we're not even scratching the surface yet, truly. And I think right now there's, a lot of low-hanging fruit customers that particularly the big customers that have been kind of waiting for this. But I think we're just scratching the surface with regards to a lot of actually like development that will happen. I think you're going to see an explosion in companies developing solutions on top of HANA that will be made available to the customer community, kind of like an Apple App Store, and I think you're going to see an explosion in that space.
Great. Well, thank you for coming in again. It was great to see you and have you back in the studio, and thanks to Optimal for sponsoring us once again.
Thanks again. You guys do a fantastic job, and we're always happy to be here and to work with ASUG News, and we're excited to see the growth that you guys have had as well.
Thank you. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more interviews with ASUG members and SAP newsmakers.